Agut and Chodesh Raboisai. Nishmasi Mimerot Sirus Vas Mordechai. Agut Chodesh. Elul. Don't forget, reminder, don't forget to add a little food today to your Suda, make it a Geshmaka Suda, the cover of Chodesh. Someone sent us, he spotted this random guy waiting for his food at Burger's Bar. Kind regards, Gershon Rose. Check this out. A guy utilizing his time. You can do Chazar, you can get into the anonymous person's raffle by waiting by Burger's Bar. 6 minutes, 8 minutes, you do a whole daf. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Shalom Leviton.
Shalom Leviton from?
Jackson.
Jackson, Shalom Aleichem. Wow, what a schus. Oh, I know you guys from Chicago. Shalom Aleichem. Remind us what the name. What's the name?
Moshe Shmuel doesn't speak in Spanish in years. So
Yeah.
Moshe Shmuel asked, but he doesn't speak in the shul. So I have to.
This is not a shul, you don't see? This is a Daf Yomi place. Yeah.
The davening here doesn't speak.
Shkoyach.
He used to come to his shul to be in why. Get over it!
What get over? He doesn't speak. He's gonna go. Nuah. Nia. Rabbi say, LA, MDYC, come here.
MDY.
Tat, wissen nicht kommen?
Welcome to MDY.
So like, you're from Chicago? You do the MDY DAF? Wie viel Jür?
Kamata Yud.
Well, I know this guy from before Jür.
Sure, he lives in Chicago.
No, but he told me all about the DAF. We'll talk about it afterwards. You have to go outside of these measures?
Yeah. He calls everyone outside to talk. That's what he does.
You want to go outside now? Shkoyach for coming. Wow, what a schiz. Mamash a schiz.
Nice talking to you.
Same here. Yeah. Rabbi said the LA Siyum on Seder Nezikin and Masechet Avodah Zarah, Sunday, September 7th. The official MDY Seder Nezikin Siyum and Avodah Zarah is going to be up north on our Shabbaton. So if you want to sponsor the Siyum, or you want to sponsor the Hadron, or you want to sponsor something, we're still looking for sponsors to get the last rooms that we left over just for those donors. Harius, it's going to be smack in the middle of Harius. This Bacher, Usher Katzman, says that somebody told him about MDY, so he turned on the first year and he says, this is a typical Israeli. He says, I said, who is this Meshugana? When he says this, and then afterwards he watched all shir and he said, you know what? Not even one daf. He didn't miss a single daf the entire Bein Azmanim. Shkeach Adir. Rabbi said the one and only David Salman, who sponsors the Masechta, he put on his LinkedIn, first 10 people that DM me privately to commit to start doing the MDY shir get Apple EarPods. 5 people signed up right away. Must be new to MDY, must commit to 30 days. I think it's a great investment. How much are the EarPods? 200?
No, they're on sale now. You can get them at like $84, $85.
They're good ones?
Yeah.
So check this out. For under $500, you get $100 a person, let's say.
It's not the Pro,
It's a tremendous.
just regular AirPods, he's saying.
No. So David goes with the Pro. He goes with the best.
He does.
250. This we did already. Okay, this we don't have to read. In Rechasim. So Rabbi say we have 18, Baruch Hashem, now, as of now, we have 18 satellite locations that watch the shir on a daily basis. And here in Rechasim, 200 days. So they made a barbecue for 200 days. And with that, we're going to jump into our amazing daf today. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salman, dedicated in memory of Avi Mori, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doim. The story is as follows. I'll remind the Olam. My son met him in Florida. He tells my son he wants to donate something to MDY, that I should call him. I figured like a typical donation, when people say that, it's usually $180 and some Yisrael. So I pushed it off a little bit. Then I called him up. He tells me he wants to sponsor the Masechta. So I told him I can't accept it if he doesn't do the daf. What do you mean? I want to give it. I said, no, you got to do the daf. First do the daf, then we'll talk. And Lamaisi hasn't missed a day since. And today he brought 5 people to the daf. And he gave me a whole speech today about how you think that you're giving, v'yitnu, it's you receive, v'nosnu, you receive back, b'kitzer, v'chulu. So, Be'ezer Hashem, we'll be zeicher to bring many more people to Torah. The Masechta sponsored, anonymous, Hatzlacha Baruchnis, Ubegashmis, Zchus Achenu B'nei Yisrael. Anonymous, man, we're learning. Rabbi said, if you're trying to donate money to MDY, you don't do the daf, don't worry, we'll still take your money. I was just. Anonymous, may our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius. Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. People might be worried. The reason why that's spot, I don't do the daf. He's going to start yelling at me. He's going to make me mashig with the daf. Monthly sponsors, TCS Israel, powered by Talk and Save. Anonymous, Refuah Shleim, Masar Bat Motaram, and Shir Bat Sarah. Weekly sponsors, Dr. Avram Epstein and his wife Rivka, Refuah Shleim for Shoshana Bas Razel. Yitzi Hollander, in honor of our new granddaughter Yakira, anonymous, the whole Klal Yisrael should have a good kibbutz yard. Who's this? I don't know. Oh, the anonymous. We're on a roll, giving away the anonymouses. Daily sponsors, Willie Hachman from Boca Raton, Florida, in honor of Rebelli, the MDY Koilo, the MDY staff, in celebration of my 70th birthday, Ben Shivim L'Seiv. I read it yesterday, right? Yeah. Amir Farivar, something like that, in honor of Shlomo Lazarian's birthday, who has not let me pay for dinner since 1989. He's the type of guy, no matter what you do with him. So I had a brilliant idea. It's like, I called him up, I said, listen, I want to come to Los Angeles, visit my son. I think we should get a Airbnb. I figured if we do it the whole Shabbos together, I said, you'll take care of the food, I'll take care of the Airbnb. V'kachava. He paid for the Airbnb, he paid for the food, everything was geschmack. You know, you got to know how to do it. At the end, I paid. At the end,
I'm not moving to LA.
Yeah. Cannot. So now, you just ruined it for him. Now the whole MDY. We got a house from Mark Ashkenazi. We got the restaurants from Lil Azarian. Let's go. Yochanan Klitnik dedicating in honor of my son, Noach Tzvi's engagement to Esti Cohn.
MDY son in the bakery. For a long time. All the time.
What? And the bakery you said?
Yeah, the bakery in Borough Park.
What's the name of the bakery over there?
Closed now, but it was called a country bakery.
And you put up a sign there for years.
He gave all the pastries in the challah at the Shabbaton.
He's the one that gave all the pastries in the challah the Shabbaton. Yochanan Klitnik. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Moshe Simon from? Shlaim, Shalom Aleichem. Welcome. Who else is a guest here? He's not a guest. So who else? You guys? Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Schwartz. Shlomi Schwartz. Yudi Schwartz from Manchester.
The Oilam from Manchester, what? It's like a holiday now? The Oilam is coming to Eretz Yisrael. There's so many people from Manchester. Yeah? It's officially a vacation? The school didn't start yet? Huh? You're Rebbe Avram Schwartz's son and grandson. Wow, it's very choshev to us. Maybe he's on Zoom. Check out on Zoom. You see the Rebbe Avram Schwartz. He's been with us since Brachas. Shalom, what's your name? From? What's Hempstead? Shalom Aleichem. Huh? Not on? You do have him. Wow, that's choshev. Check this out. Where? He's looking at this. Oh, Shalom Aleichem Rebbe Avram. Your mishpach is we can't even hear you. Technology. Keep on going. I'll be quiet. Oh, technology is a shtickle off. It's even black and white. It's black and white. What's going on here? Oh. He's coming back. Oh.
Is that better?
Much better, yeah. Pardon me, Iris. Since when are you with us? Since like Brachas time?
Before that.
Wow.
I think it's end of Avodah Zarah.
No, it can't be because we weren't online until Menachas. So you're from the beginning.
Similar time to Rabbi David joined together.
Right. So that's all the way in the beginning. Yeah, it's for sure from Chaniches. So it's way before Brachas. It's a big schus to have you. We once wanted to interview you and then you ran away something. So okay, we interview you now, 3 years later. So look at the chashivas, your son, your grandson. Yehuda, you said your name is?
Yeah.
Yudi. Givaldik. Okay, Sach Nachas. We got to learn Torah. Dan Rubinoff, my grandparents' yahrzeit. Miriam Leah Bas Avraham Aaron Aleph Elul. Yaakov Moshe ben Yosef HaKohen Beis Elul. Talking about someone that has trauma when you say Elul. Nosim Katz in honor. When you go Elul, Dan Rubinoff starts shaking. Nosim Katz in honor of Reb Eli for all he does for Klal Yisrael. Thank you, Reb Nosim. MDYR, it's not so funny, I'm saying the truth. Refuah Shleima for Yonatan Eitan ben Besheva Bracha. Refuah Shleima Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Sayel Daniel Zev ben Ayel Esther. Okay, Rabbi Isai, here we go. Have a shayla for the oilam. Let's say you take a bunch of, you take this kind of vinegar. Check this out. If you look closely, look at this vinegar. It's made out of grapes, wine vinegar, but it also has wheat. It's klaya karam vinegar. It's a terrible mamish asur dika vinegar. You take this vinegar and you pour it into your wife's cake batter. Is the cake kosher or not kosher? What is that called? Noisen tam livgam. You put in a bunch of vinegar into a cake. Does it make it asur? Yes or no? Mutter asur? What's the halacha? What do you say? Okay. Here's another thing. Here's another shayla I have. Let's say you have coleslaw. Anybody like coleslaw here? Like the New York, the chapanash. You remember? I don't know. 30 years ago it was chapanash. Today it's something else. Katner's, what's it called in Los Angeles? Essex and Coney. Yeah, Essex and Coney. What's it called in Los Angeles? The deli over there? Yes. Talking about from before brachas. Wow, choshev. So, get him a seat. We have one seat left right over here. I'm not joking. Come. The coleslaw. Who's sitting over there next to Rabbi Schoenberg? Is somebody sitting here? Okay, you can sit right over there. No, here also. Come closer. So here's my shiloh with the coleslaw is as follows. Coleslaw needs a shtickle geschmack vinegar. You put this non-kosher vinegar into the coleslaw. Now it's super geschmack. I used to go to Chapanash 30 years ago. I don't know what it is today. In Flatbush, and there was lines of people just getting coleslaw. You dump coleslaw into those jars. What? Right. Marina Del Rey. That's the. But anyways, the coleslaw was, Shem Dover back in the day. So let's say you put in this treifa coleslaw, treifa vinegar into the coleslaw. You know what coleslaw is? Yeah, you know. How about you guys from where? Who are the guys from Manchester? I don't know. You guys know what coleslaw is? They have it over there? Yeah. They have it.
Cabbage.
You can tell who eats a lot of coleslaw, who doesn't. It's full of mayo, it's geschmack and sugar and mayo. Yeah, so you take this treifa coleslaw and you put it on the fire and you boil it up until there's almost no vinegar left in there. Is it kosher or not kosher? So that's basically today's sugya. It's pgami kara. I'm sorry, not pgami kara. It's shevach mikara, it's geschmack. You made a good coleslaw, and then you ruined it. Does the isser go out or not? That's today's shayla. Basically, that's what we're going to be dealing with. If to begin with you added vinegar into the cake, that's b'gam mikara. You started off on the wrong foot. You used the isser for something not positive. It's not positive to put vinegar in a cake. So l'chayra, it should be kosher, not treif, even though the ingredient is treif, but you try to ruin the cake, so it's kosher. And the opposite, if you put it in and for 5-10 minutes the coleslaw was really good, so you had a coleslaw that was treif. Now that you put it on the pot and you try to get rid of the isser, you boiled it up, you made it disgusting, perhaps the isser shouldn't go away. That's the regular svar. Let's see if anybody argues on that. So says Ula, Omar Ula. 4 lines from the top of Samaches Amud Aleph. Omar Ula machloikes shishbiach ulevasoi pogam. If you put the vinegar into the coleslaw, or in the Gemara's case where you put the vinegar into a bunch of beans, check this out. You put the vinegar into the cold beans. You can see the pot over here is frosty. It's freezing cold, taken out of the fridge. You put the the vinegar in there, it makes it taste good. It's good. And then you boiled it up, so you made it bad. That's where we have a machlokes says ula, which is a chiddush. We have to understand what the logic is. Why should this be mutter? For 5 minutes, it was completely asur. I put a bad ingredient in there, wheat. This wheat field vinegar, which is klei kerem. It's a mixture of wheat and wine. So this is shbiach. Look at these little beans. They're all excited. It's geschmack. They have muscles. Everybody's excited. And then he takes this frosty pot, puts it on the flame. Yesterday they had tears. I couldn't get the tears to come back. I don't know what happened. Seriously. So this is shbiach l'soif pagam. Says Ula, this is the machlokes right over here. Machlokes is shbiach l'soif pagam. Aval pagami kara. But what happens if you put a bunch of vinegar into a cake? It wasn't even good for a moment. Or, in our case, let's see our case. Our case, he put the vinegar in when it was boiling hot, so it's terrible. Maybe these guys cry? Oh, these guys cry. Oh. Divrei hakol mutter. You didn't accomplish anything with your treif. Your treif just caused problems. It was never a good thing. It wasn't like for 5 minutes it made the food better. The moment it hit it, it made the food terrible. Here's another case, just an interesting case. We could be makdim it now. We're going to see it all the way in the bottom of the Amud. What if you have sourdough? You put in kosher yeast, kosher starter, and it rises to perfection. So we have a great dough. Then you go ahead and you put in truma starter. What's going to happen now? It's a good dough, and now it's going to make the dough a little bit too sour. It's a little bit of a problem. Is that considered a problem right away? Or that's considered that it was good and then became bad? What do you guys say? It's a little confusing. Again, what happened?
His Maisa didn't make it bad. His Maisa made it
Didn't make it bad. So what is that called then? It's bad right away? So you're saying it was good and then bad? No, that's considered bad right away. Because you had a good food and your treif made it bad right away. I figured it's going to be a little confusing. You hear, Nachamal? It was at perfection. My dough was at perfection. It's a sourdough. All I need to do is put it into the oven. I come ahead and take truma, starter, and add it to my perfect dough. The moment it hits my dough, it didn't make it good. It's already good. It's perfect. If I take coleslaw, that's perfect. It's the perfect coleslaw. I could dish it out right now at $62 a pound in Chapanash. And I take a bottle of non-good vinegar and I pour it in there. I add more vinegar. Did I make it good and then bad, or I made it bad right away? I made it bad right away.
Because vinegar reacts on it immediately.
But over here,
it takes time.
Okay, so it takes time. But did it make it good for a minute? Did it make it good for a minute? No, because it was already at perfection.
Did it make it bad?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when it happened, but it never did good. The point is, it never did good. It only did bad. Only did bad. That's the logic is.
Treif into something which doesn't make it bad. Is it also yes?
No.
Make it bad.
No, you have to cook it. You have to diss it. It has to something. It has to impart a flavor. Either part of good flavor or bad flavor. There's no in between. Over here, it's perfect. Anything in addition to that is bad. Let's get there. I just wanted to get you ready for this. It's very simple. Anyway, let's go weiter. Eisvei Rav Chaga L'Ula. This is like it's a Givaldic story what happened there. I don't know what you can learn from it. It's Givaldic. Rav Chaga asks Ula a good kasha. Ula took offense to this and he kind of insults him. Yain shenavel torchadashim. That's our case of wine that fell into the lentils. V'chomed shenofal l'toich grisen, and vinegar that fell into the barley. It depends what version of the article you're going to look at. It could be a type of a pea, a split pea, or barley. In Hebrew, grisen is barley. The English calls it split pea. But the point is, it's some sort of bean. You add this vinegar to it. Osir, it makes the food osir. Reb Shimon matir. Rav Chaga understands this to mean This is something that's detrimental to the food. Why? Because we're talking about that it's hot, and as soon as you put the vinegar into hot, it makes it bad. Nevertheless, we have a machlokes. Why do you Ula say that in this case, where it's hot and you introduce vinegar to it, it makes it bad immediately, that it's mutter, divrei hakol mutter? Over here, I have a machlokes. What's Ula going to tell him? Maybe tasted that it was hot. Maybe it was cold and it was good for it. Maybe it started out good and then bad. Amar Ula, Chaga, he insults him. Chaga lo meida yoda my ka'amir rabbanon. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know how to learn. To yufta kamoisev, you're asking me a kasha, you don't even know how to learn. Learn how to read first, then come back to me. The truth is, Ula was wrong, Rav Chaga was right. That's the end of the story. At the end of the Gemara, you'll see the Gemara kind of agrees with the Rav Chaga. The insult was given. The Gemara doesn't discuss the insult. It's just, he has as Ula, he had to put him in his place. Listen, you don't know how to learn. You got the story wrong. It was this. First, you put it into a cold pot, and cold is good for it. So since there was a moment of an improvement, thank you, of an improvement, a shvach, so that's it. The treif product did what it needed to do. It worked. It caused the food to be treif. Later on, you went ahead and you boiled it up. Okay, so you ruined it. I got to tell you this. Let's say you're in the middle of learning. You go home and you want to be part of the anonymous raffle. So you do a chazara. You start learning the sugya. What happens? You get a ding, ding. What's the first, when you get a little ring on your phone, what's the first thing you do? So I don't know what happens in the brain. I once read about it. There's endorphins and the chveisvas. You got a message. You got to see what it is. It's an email. It's an important email. So you right away take a look. Well, there's a WhatsApp. And you take a look at the WhatsApp. Chazon Ish says, imagine this. Imagine if a person wants to make an overnight soup. This is something I learned when I was a caterer. And I asked last night, everybody, yeah, vada. I didn't know this, that if you boil a soup for like 24 hours, it's that much better than a soup that's on the flame for 3 hours. Not only that, if you put it in the fridge and it cools down, and then it's even better. Guy wants like a cholent, mamish like a cholent. It's not just cholent. I didn't know that. Okay, shiva bacher cater. All of a sudden, the soup tasted better, and we cooked it up like before Shabbos. I don't know what. So
serving leftovers.
Says no overnight.
Better.
These guys that got married there, they already have children that are married. Most of the people that I do chasnas for. Anyway, yeah, now they know. Says the Chazon Ish, unbelievable mashal. He says if you need to heat up this soup, you have to leave it on the flame for 24 hours. What if every 20 minutes you turn off the fire for 20 minutes? Sachakol, you had 24 hours of fire. It's nothing. Nothing's going to happen to the soup. Says the Chazon Ish that if you learn Torah and every 6 minutes you look at your phone and WhatsApp, he says first, WhatsApp, email, you're not beritzifos, so it doesn't work as well. The idea is to shut off your phone for a little bit and go. I'm talking to Benny, to Noam, and to Mark Ashkenazi, and to Yossi Klein. These are the 4 people I'm talking to. Stop bothering me in the middle of Seder. And if the phone is off, what are you looking at me like that?
It's better to do it during Shir.
You mean when else? No, they're right. Keep on doing it. If I turn off the phone, I turn off the phone. Oh, look. He says, okay, he first put in the cold, then he boiled it up. That's a classic case. We have good coleslaw, and then you boiled it up afterwards. It's too late. There was already 5 minutes where these beans were they benefited from this vinegar, and the fact that you boiled it up later doesn't help us out. Okay, Rabbi Yochanan argues. Rabbi Yochanan Omar bepoigim mikara machlokes. This is unbelievable. If I had this case, poigim mikara, I take hot beans and I introduce them to the vinegar. What's going to happen? The moment the vinegar hits, it ruins the whole dish. Nevertheless, says Rabbi Yochanan, and we have to understand this. There's a Manda Omar that's going to say that it's aser. Rabbi Meir is going to say, even in this case, the food is aser. And he learns it from where? He learns it from Midyan. That the Torah says you have to take their kalim and do hagalas kalim, even though it's disgusting, even though it's ruined stuff. Treif is even when it's bad. When there wasn't even a moment of benefit, it made a begam, it ruined the dish immediately, machlokes. And he stops over there, he says 3 words. Poigem mikara machlokes. When the dish is bad from the first moment, machlokes. Now, let's be medayik. What about if it wasn't bad from the beginning? It was good in the beginning. The vinegar made it great. It's coleslaw. Put in vinegar, it's great for 10 minutes. And then you ruined it. L'chayr, this shouldn't be a machlokes. L'chayr, everybody should agree that that's 100% aser. It was good for 10 minutes. Ibaylu, but poigim mikar machlokes. But Rabbi Yochanan doesn't explain. He stops right short. But poigim mikar machlokes, aval ishbiach l'vasoif pogam divrei hakol aser. Dilma bein bezu machlokes. Perhaps both have a machlokes. I don't know. Rabbi Yochanan didn't say. On the one hand, you could be medayik. He said only machlokes when it's ruined all the way in the beginning. But if it's not ruined in the beginning, it had a shasa kosher. It was excellent food for 5 minutes. So the treif accomplished a ton. It made this thing good. And it should be also according to everybody. I didn't know. No, even in that, someone says that it's mutter. Reb Shimon is going to say it's mutter. Teiku. So this, we have a Taisus here, that's a big kasha on Rav Pessin Sefer. Taisus says, V'af agav, de l'kama pashtino lo mebraisa, de pogam mi kora pligi, hishbiach lo seif pogam de rakolosu. Says Taisus, wait a minute, just finish the sugya. What do you mean teiku? At the end of the sugya it says, mefurish, that everybody agrees that if it was good for a minute, and then it became bad, everybody agrees that that's treif. Says Tais is unbelievable. But in Beis Medrash they had a problem. They didn't know what it was. It was a teiku. There's 2 times in the entire Shas that teiku is not a teiku. This is one of them. So I asked, what does Rav Pessin have to do with it? I said, the 2 times shouldn't be in a sefer. It's not a real teiku.
It should be in the sefer, but you said it's not a real teiku.
But it doesn't say it. I looked there. Steht nicht. Habayot habilti pturot b'shas, it says on top. These are questions that are not. Okay. Teiku.
Now it's a teiku.
You gotta ask it. Omer Rav Amram. Efshar iso lahod Rabbi Yochanan v'letanya lebemasnisim. Is it possible to say this amazing chiddush that Rabbi Yochanan just said? Rabbi Yochanan says a chiddush that what? That even though the vinegar was introduced at a terrible time when it ruins the dish, nevertheless, we consider this dish treif. Rabbi Meir holds it's treif. Says Rav Amram, Efshar Isol Lahad Rabbi Yochanan, is it possible that such a big chiddush exists? And we don't see it in a Brisa, we don't see it in a Mishnah anywhere. How's it possible? Where'd you come up with this? There's a famous story with Rabbi Kotler. He was at a Shabbos Shever Brachas of one of his Talmidim from Lakewood, and the guy gets up, as a chassan does, and he gives a whole drasha. And Rabbi Aaron was very uncomfortable. Everybody saw that he was like fidgeting, and finally he screamed, "Bring the raya! A raya! A raya!" He screamed.
Yeah.
Bring. Somebody just sent me a Gewaldica thing. It was a guy, one of the talk show hosts. this morning. I'm not going to mention his name because it's a shir, but a famous talk show host. I don't think he's alive anymore. So he says, and our next guest is. So his sidekick screams out, "Our first guest," like not a sidekick, one of the guys working there. So he looks at him and goes, "You just corrected me in front of millions of people?" Johnny's Christmas bonus. Like, anyway.
You're gonna cut your pay now.
I'm getting a bonus. The first guy get a bonus.
Okay, anyway. Don't scream. Anyway, fine. So, bring the raya. Rabbi Echon, it's gewaldig what you're saying there. Rabbi Meir holds that even if you introduce the vinegar all the way in the beginning and this food was terrible because of it, still treif. Where's your raya? Nofak dok v'ashkach. He himself, Rabbi Amr, took it upon himself to look through Shas and find the source for this. And he found something. The Sanya, or the Snan, says in the Mishnah, Sa'ir shechulin shenof al toicha isa v'yesh boy kedei lahachmitz. Here we go. We have two starters. One is chulin. It says over here on the thing, if you want to see, you see what it says? Eli Stefansky starter. I guess that's me in earlier days. The waistline was a little different. The tzitzis are the same. So step number one was, we have three cases. We have one that the chulin went in first, then the truma. We have another case that the truma went in first, then the chulin, and what's the third case? Tzazamen. So let's think what happened over here. The chulin went in, so it's perfect. You hear, Ariel? This was perfect. And now we added truma. What happened? The truma made it bad. The truma made it bad. The truma didn't make it good. It was perfect without the truma. Kedei lahachmitz, it has enough chulin, perfect amount, the starter to make this batch gewaldig. You add another one. I didn't ask my wife, but I guess you ask around. The Gemara says I don't have to ask her. You add more starter, it makes it more sour. It makes it off. So it made it bad. So here's the raya. This is the case that we're talking about. Putting vinegar into hot beans, making it bad to begin with. What's tricky here, Reb Aryeh, is that it was good to begin with. But the beans were also good to begin with. And then you add the vinegar and then you make it bad. The point is, the bad stuff, the non-kosher stuff, or the usur stuff, in this case, truma is also for the Yisrael to eat. When you introduce it, it's not helping the dish, it's ruining the dish. So that's called...
Why? Because it's truma?
Yeah. Truma for me. For us.
Vinegar. Okay.
No, for us.
I mean, it's good for cotton.
Yeah, but for us. Or, okay, you're better with klei kerem. Mamish aser. And it has its own power to make it sour, to make it, how do you say chametz in English? Leaven or whatever, aser. It makes it aser. That's Shitas Reb Meir. Here, I found something gewaldig. Reb Shimon Mater. Says Rav Amram, V'hacha the b'gami karuhu. Since he introduces the truma and the klei kerem, it makes it off right away. Upligi, yet Reb Meir holds that it's aser. Omer Reb Zera, what does Reb Zera say? Shani isa hoyel v'ru'uya l'chameya b'kamo isa sacheres. Imagine if this woman, whose husband didn't know and introduced the truma, she could go ahead and sell this dough. Now it's double as strong. Now she could sell smaller portions after Pesach to all the people that threw out their starters. I told my wife, you got to throw out the starters. Like, mamish chametz gomer. I can't have chametz gomer in my fridge. I don't know of more chametz than starter, right? That's the biggest. It's sa'ar. That's not what the Torah calls sa'ar. That's sa'ar. So after Pesach, she went and she bought sa'ar from the lady that didn't throw it out. I mean, she had to have starter. Where do you get starter from? But, huh? Right. For us, it's not a problem. It's her problem. Yeah. He's 100% right. There was quite. So, so what is the Gemara saying? The Gemara is saying that the truma, you hear, you're going to miss the point there. The truma is beneficial because you just made a stronger starter. You're right. The dough is terrible. Throw out the dough. But don't throw out the dough, because I can use the dough for other starters. People are going to come to me and I'm going to give them starters all day long. I have enough starter for who knows how long. Toshma, so now we're going to do the same thing over again. The same thing we just learned, we're going to repeat. All right, Rabbi Yochanan, that if when you introduce bad food, bad isser, vinegar into hot beans, he says it's still treif. So this is another case here. You want to see it? Both of them together. You see so much different things happen since he left. It's unbelievable. Oh, that's nothing. Wait. We got some. Things have really changed. But it's like 3 days. You're going to get the glasses soon. You'll see it. Mamish alive. There's enough in each one to make the dough sour. And they made it, says Rashi, more than necessary. They ruined it. Asur. It's asur. Reb Shimon matter. Reb Shimon says, no. I'll tell you why it's mutter, because the truma made it bad, and therefore the whole dish is kosher. Nafal shel truma tchila. And if the truma fell in first, like so Mamela, what's this? Rabbi said, what is this called when the truma falls in first? Ishbiach. It's yafa. It's good for it. It's ishbiach right away. The truma made it good. It had a shasa kosher. That's for sure. Aser. Okay, so this is our right. This is what we spoke about a minute ago, but it's a brisa. It's something else. Case number 1, where the chulin fell in first, the truma fell in second. What does the truma do? Makes it bad right away. Asur. Here we have a shita, says the Gemara. I have a shita that it's also Reb Shimon matir. Over here you see that when you introduce the truma at step 2, the truma is ruining it. Yet somebody says that this food is asur. What's going to be the answer, Rabbi Isai? Anybody? That it's a great starter. You can just sell the starter. He didn't ruin it. He made it good. You'll say, no, he didn't make it. He made the dough bad, but he made a great batch of starter. Okay, great. So I'll bring you from the end of that brayso. Tashma is seifa. So just remember, this brayso has 3 parts. This is the last part. We'll go through the 3 parts again. But it's also something that we learned. What's the seifa? Hayayin shenova derchadashim. V'chayim shenova dergrisin. Asur. Here, I'll do the spans in a second, but I just want to show you what somebody, Shachar, threw this in. This is vinegar that fell into the cold beans. So that the Gemara understands. The pogami kar, please. Sorry, I shouldn't have showed it now. I should have showed it in a minute, but you guys get it. The Gemara understands in the beginning that the vinegar comes and ruins it right away. Why? Because it's on the fire already. And if you'll tell me, like Rav Chaga's Ula told Rabbi Chaga, that first it was cold and then it was hot. So in other words, it made the food good and then it made it bad. That's why. This is machlokes. Says the Gemara, mi pli, kishbir say pagam. There is no machlokes. In other words, Ula is wrong. Over here, the Gemara is telling you that Ula is wrong. Is there anybody that holds that if it was good for 5 minutes, that the treif made this food good for 5 minutes, that it's not considered treif? Of course it's treif. How are you going to get the treif out of it? Kishbiach, when it was good, the treif made the food great. I introduced vinegar to cold beans, it makes the beans great. And then you put it on the flame, well, say pagam, you made it bad. Valkatani, we learned if the truma fell into the dough first, and everybody here was in agreement that if truma was number 1, then the truma is the one that made the dough, and therefore what? Even if you add the chulin afterwards, it remains asur. There is no argument in that. Ula, you're wrong. You shouldn't have made fun of Rabbi Chaga. So you see over here, like Rabbi Yochanan, again, that what? The machlokes is when the vinegar, even in a case, it's peleploim, even in a case where the beans are on the fire, and I introduce the vinegar to it and I ruin the beans right away. There's a Manda Omar called Reb Meir who says, this food is aser. It doesn't make sense logically. Well, the treif made my food bad, not good. Why should it be treif? It's bad. Let's say, what? Because he has a pasuk. The pasuk says, you have to take the disgusting kalim of the guy that are full of 4-day-old pork in the walls and do agal kalim. So you see that even though the noise and of gam, aser, shmamina, end the story. That's the end. Now it gets easy. It wasn't that hard, but turning of the daf. Adar Global Specialist in International Financial Services, Anonymous. Anonymous, in gratitude to Reb Eli and MDY for promoting Achdus Yisrael and Ahavas Yisrael. There's a new one. Yishkoyach. Promoting Ahavas Yisrael and Achdus Yisrael. Look around in this room. Shalom Aleichem. I was worried that you're going to leave us. How you doing, Eli? No, you, Eli. We have Hasidim with their hats. We have Dafyomis with their kippas. We have Litvaks. We have all sorts of people. Huh? No, their type of kippah. And we have people that shave on Rosh Chodesh, that don't shave on Rosh Chodesh, all types. Says the Gemara, Hanit Lasa. We just read 3 cases in the Brisa. And we need to know why do we need 3 cases. We're going to go through them here. The Reisha is when you introduce Chulin and Truma simultaneously. That's the hard one to understand. What do we need that one? That should be included in the Seifa. Then we have the Mitzia, which was that you introduce one before the other. For argument's sake, to make it easier, we're just going to go to one case, and that's the important case. The other one is not such a chiddush. We introduce Truma first, so it made the food good. It made the dough, the Truma, the Isser made the dough, and then you introduce another one. Okay. And then we had a third case where you introduce the treif and it makes it bad immediately. The middle case is where it makes it good and then becomes bad. The last case is where it makes it bad immediately. Ask the Gemara, why do I need a case where it happens simultaneously? I already know from the Seifa that if I make it bad right away, there's a Manda Omer that says it's still treif. So of course, if it happened together and it actually made it good for a little bit, then of course it's awesome. The Seifa is the biggest chiddush possible. Even if the treif makes it bad, you introduce manure to food, it's treif. You'd say, what are you talking about? It's disgusting. No, aval pikein, it's treif. So certainly in the ratio where there's a little good going on and it made it dough for 2 minutes, so certainly it should be aser. If it's beneficial for a minute, for 10 minutes, what? Oh, maybe we're talking about that also. Yeah, you have a good point. So says the Gemara, Bishlam above the Seifa, where the wine fell in and made it terrible right away. Here, I'm just adding those words to it. It teaches a tremendous chiddush that even when if it wasn't good for a moment, there's a mandama that says it's also machlokes. Mitziyasanami. What am I going to do with the middle one? Even in the case where I introduced the truma first, and the dough was perfect for 5 minutes, and then I introduced another one, everybody agrees in that case. Aser. Okay. Elo reisha lamali. But what I need, the first case, in the last case where I introduced the wine and I ruined the dish immediately on the first second, I ruined the dish. Reb Meir holds it's still aser, so certainly reisha to come shavach mibaya. What happened there? I used starter from chulin, starter from truma. The truma obviously helped out over here. It made it a dough. Yeah, you're right. After 10 minutes, it made it bad also because it's too much starter. But at one point, the dough was perfect. 5 minutes in, the dough was perfect. 10 minutes in, it was too sour. But for those 5 minutes, it made it good. So of course, it should be aser. Omar Abaya, Rachel Reb Shimon Yitzrach. There's a chiddush here, according to Reb Shimon. This is what Rabban told Reb Shimon. It should typically take a dough to rise, to become leaven. It should take 2 hours. Isser. So you, Reb Shimon, should agree that it should be Aser. Yeah, this is mamish a case of hishbiach v'acharkach pogam. This is a case where it was good. The reisha, it was good. The truma made it good, it made it dough, and then it became bad. So you should agree, Reb Shimon, that it is Aser. So what does Reb Shimon tying it back? Reb Shimon kishishbichu shneihem ishbichu. It was never the truma never had a chance to make this dough chametz by itself. It never made it chametz. It was in conjunction with the chulin. So the truma never accomplished anything, even for a moment. Like he was asking, maybe the two of them together. So the truma did do it. You're right. You needed the chulin the whole time, but the truma together with the chulin, it should be in starf to make it aser. As the Gemara, Reb Shimon l'starf heta v'isur b'hadei adoda v'litzer. Huh? I skipped. Reb Shimon kishbichu shneim ishbichu kishepagmu shneim pagmu. They both, right? They both caused this dough to leaven, and the truma never had a chance to make it chavetz by itself. It always needed the truma, the chulin. As the Gemara, nevertheless, it should be also why the Reb Shimon starf heta v'isur b'hadei adoda v'litzer. So what if it needed help? But it should combine with the good and the bad, and it should make one isur. And we're going to see more of this svar in a second to explain it. Reb Shimon Tamei do'amar afilu isur v'isur nami lo mitztarfi. Check this out. Look at this. Gishmak. Can anybody guess what the grape on the left is? If you weren't here in Shir yesterday, what's the grape on the left? There's two grapes. Arla, very good. And what's the grape on the right? Klei HaKerem. You have wheat and grapes together. So we have two different isurim. One is the Arla isur. One is the grape isur. If you know the answer to this, don't answer. Only if you don't know the answer, try to answer. Yesterday we were talking about to be mevatel nois and tam treif is 1 out of 60. How many grapes do you need to be mevatel arla? How many grapes? How many more grapes? 60? If you know the answer, don't answer. I see you might know the answer. How many? No? Rabbi Isai, guess?
No.
199.
99.
199.
199.
1 in 200.
You're wrong, but you're right. I think you're wrong, but you're right.
1 in 200.
I think it's 200 to 1, but you're right. But Reb Nachman Katz is right. He did shas a bunch of times, so he knows. It's 1 in 200. He said 199. He was off by. I think that it's 200. No? You asking to me? Okay. What?
Full 200 to 1.
200 to 1. That's the 200 to 1. Okay, you get it. If I had to give a prize now, you would win the prize. But we have to be meduik. Okay. Rabbi Isai, how much do you need to be mevatel klei hakerem? The grape on the right, the Klayim one. How much? Also 200 to 1. Question: if I have a box of grapes, 300 grapes, and these two guys fell into the grapes, 300. Are they mevotel or not mevotel? Doesn't simultaneously. The question is, for each one you need 200. You need 200 for the arla, 200 for the klei hakerem. But they're not. If timeout. Let's go back. 2 arla grapes. How many grapes do you need to be mevatel 2 arla grapes? What's the answer? 400. 2 klei hakerem grapes. How much do you need? 400. So what if you have 1 klei hakerem and 1 arla in 300? Is that enough? No. Why not 200 for each? This one has 200. This one has 200. It's 2 different isurim.
It'd be 201.
Time out. If I have 1 kezayis of nevela in a chont, and 1 kezayis of klei hakerem in the chont, how many kezaysim do I need to be mevatel? 60 should be mevatel both because they're different, right? Okay, so that's the question here.
You want to the other, one mevatel, and then it will be.
Here, hold on. What do you say? The what?
I'm saying if one goes in, so mevatel.
No, okay, but it's not true because at every given time you need to be mevatel. It's not mevatel right away. Check this out real quickly. You have the klei hakerem and the arla guys in a 300 basket. Shaila is what? So says Reb Shimon that even if you have 2 isurim, arla and a klei hakerem, you don't need 400. 300 is enough. You hear what's going on here? 300 is enough according to Reb Shimon. They're not mitzdarif to Isser. They're individual Isurim. It's not 200, correct? 200. Stam l'saber sa'izin. I threw out 300. It's not Arlo Klei HaKerev and Starfin. Reb Shimon Oimer even Starfin. So if in this case they're not mitzdarif, then certainly not in dough. When you have a trum and a chulin, they shouldn't combine together to make it Isser.
Similar to me, the Omar.
Yeah, he said. Reb Shimon Tamei, Dama Filu Isser, now 11 Starfin. What?
There's 199 and 2 grapes. Each one is Mavata according to 200. That's the case we're talking about. Yeah?
Who said this is two?
It says 200
Yeah.
water, but we're talking about 199, and then 2 grapes, 1 system kilo.
You're asking if that should be method? I don't know if
That's
that's.
the case.
Yeah?
That is the case.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Okay, I hear. If you're right, you're right. He's saying it's talking about a case of 199 grapes, and then you have 2. One is a clear care, and one is this. Okay, we got to go quick because it's almost shachar. Rabbi say a mouse fell into a barrel of beer. Asri Rav lahu shichra. We have a shtickle video here. Where was it? Here we go. Shoe fell in, came out. So a mouse fell into a barrel of beer. Now, this Taisus points out, and this Mamish Meduik, they didn't know this, the guys that did this AI, but we were dying afterwards. 2 mice fell in, he pulled out 1. So Taisus says, if a cold mouse falls into a cold barrel of beer, what's the halacha? No problem. It's cold and cold. So we have to say, it's cold and cold. It should be mutter. This is a new halacha of kavush. The kavush Ariel kimavush. Kavush is like it's cooked. Okay. Now what?
The picture is still alive. It's alive. It doesn't give up any food.
Yeah. We're not. A lot of our pictures, the whole tomb entire, the guys are like, fine. I go on. It says like this. Rabbi said, can anybody think of a reason why this beer should be also? Why should it be also? It's a dead mouse in beer. Why? Tell me a reason why it should be also. What?
It's disgusting.
So, by the way, why is it called mouse? Mouse. Why is it called? Yeah. What Rav is going to hold that a bad flavor makes something usher. We paskin that a bad flavor is mutter. No, you're right. Typically in the world, everywhere he holds that a bad flavor is 100% mutter. The whole thing of shrotzim is a massive chiddush. The ha mimis moyes, it's disgusting. Why in the world does the Torah have to tell us you're not allowed to eat a mouse? Of course, nobody eats mice. Without the Torah, you wouldn't eat a mouse. The Torah is telling you that you shouldn't eat a mouse, meaning it's telling me that in the case of where it imparts a terrible flavor, it's also awesome. That's the chiddush. That's what Rav is tiny. Maybe if you're telling me that the Torah shouldn't talk about a sheretz at all, that all shrotzim, it's pasha that you can't eat them. So maybe the Torah is coming to tell us a different chiddush. That the reason the Torah says that you can't have a sheretz, you can't eat a sheretz, it tells us that even if it's dried out sheretz, you also can't eat it. That's also a tremendous chiddush because we typically know that a sheretz has to be moist. No, maybe that's why the Torah says typically people don't eat mice. But even in a case where it's dried out, it says the Torah don't eat it. It's also matama. It's not, but it's not matama. Why is it not matama? Because you have to say because people actually do eat mice. Here, I just got one picture of the. This is like a marketplace in China, right? They eat all sorts of gross things. So people do eat mice. Here, like this. They eat mice once in a while. But Shechva Zera is certainly a most thing. So maybe the chiddush over there is that it's matami even when it's dry. Why does it say matami lachem ve'ei matami yeveshim? It's not matami when it's dry. So what are you going to say? Shechva Zera. The reason why Shechva Zera, even though it's most, it's only matami when it's moist is because it has to be something that's capable of lahazriya. Hachanami b'moisim rachmana came moisim sold to by a sheretz. It has to be like the moment it died, where it was moist. Mascular of Shimi Menarda. Umimois. Why is a mouse disgusting? Kings eat it. Says Rashi, you're not going to believe this. Look what Rashi says. Achbar de davra, a squirrel. We're talking about squirrels. We're talking about in Hebrew snai. So I have a shtickle video for you. I think you're going to like this one, Naftali. I had a squirrel problem in Chicago, in Lakewood, and I bought a trap, and I caught a bunch of squirrels. Now, as a good Jewish boy, I didn't know what to do with them. Now what? My friend told me that he released these squirrels miles away, and they came right back. They made holes in my attic. They just climb up, they make a hole. So what do? I call up my guy. The guy still works for me, Donaldo. I said, come take care of the squirrels. No problem, Eli. He comes with his little gun. Chick, chick. Then he takes them out, puts them in a plastic bag. And I'm watching him. And he goes to his car with it. Like, Donaldo, the garbage can is over there. Garbage can? I eat tonight. So they eat squirrels. There's a big oil in it. It's even, I don't know. So I came to work. I was telling guys that of course I eat. Tim eats squirrels also, and he's not. People eat squirrels.
You never saw a stray cat in Chinatown.
Okay, we'll stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a good chodesh. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.